Hello, my lovelies. It's Susanna, and today I want to show you how to find the length of x in this trapezoid. We are given the length of this side here and of this side here. We are also given the length of this part and of this part. They tell us that we have a right angle here, here, and here, and we want to find the length of x. Because this is a trapezoid, we know that two sides have to be parallel to each other. In our case, this side here is parallel to this side here because we also have these right angles here and here. And because we have another right angle here, we also know that this side is also parallel to these other sides. I'm not a fan of working with trapezoids, by the way, so I want to draw a line here to the side so that we have a right angle here as well. And now we have a triangle up here and a rectangle down here. And I want to work with these objects. So in this rectangle, we know the length of this part here of our x because it is the same as this length here. So we have here, this part is of length 28. Then we can also kind of say how long this part up here is because the entire side is my x. And this is the part that I'm not interested in, so I can just subtract the 28 from my x. So I know up here, this would be x, the entire side, minus this lower part here, so minus the 28. Do I know how long this part here is? Yes, I do, because the entire side is 52. And the part down here that I'm not interested in is 28. So let's subtract. 52 minus 28 equals 24 here for this part up here. I also know how long this part here is. That's the 25. So I have the 25 here. And I know how long this part is. That's the 35. So I know a lot of things here. And I can also tell how long the entire side here is. 25 plus 35 equals 60. Okay, what can we do now? If we take a look at this large triangle up here, there is a smaller triangle in here as well. And we have a right angle here as well, so this small triangle is a right triangle, and this large triangle is also a right triangle. What about the other angles? This angle here, for example, I call it alpha. Alpha is part of the small triangle, and alpha is also part of this large triangle, which means that both triangles have the same angles, which means that both triangles are similar to each other, which is great because then we can use the following. In similar triangles, if we create the ratio of two sides in a triangle, then this is the same as creating the ratio in this other triangle of corresponding sides. So let's start with the small triangle here. Let's pick a side, so this one, for example. So this is the one that is parallel to this one. So we start with this side, which is x minus 28. I write it down here. And now I divide this by the length of another side. Let's take the 35 here in our small triangle. So we write down the 35 here. And now it's important that we take the corresponding sides. So here we had the x minus 28, so we had this part here. So we have to take this parallel side first, the 24, and divide this now by, here we had this part here, so from the right angle 2 alpha. In our large triangle, this would mean from the right angle to alpha. And how long is this side? This is the 60. So let's write down the 60 here. And now we have an equation. We have x in here. So let's solve this equation for x. Maybe let's get rid of the 35 here first by multiplying both sides of the equation by 35 so that this cancels out here and only this part is left, so the x minus 28. And on the other side, we can multiply, but first let's reduce this a little bit because 35 and 60 are both divisible by 5. 35 over 5 equals 7, and 60 over 5 equals 12. And now 24 over 12 equals 2, so we only have 2 times 7, which is equal to 14. To solve for x, let's get rid of this here, so let's add 28 on both sides of the equation so that we have x here. This cancels out, and on the other side we have 14 plus 28, which equals 42, and we found the length of our x. I'm curious how you solve this problem, so please let me know in the comments. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care!